Hey everybody, I am coming making this video message and I want to let you all know, if somebody does not respect themselves, they will not respect you. You all have to understand that there are some people who they allow many things to happen to them, and they allow these things to happen to them for different reasons. Now, I know we live in a world where people say, I demand that people respect me. I'm not here to argue with anybody and tell you that you're wrong for that, because I too have also told people that I demand to be respected. And when you are a man or a woman who respects yourself, you will expect everybody else that you come in contact with to respect you as well. Because you talk to people like you have some sense, because you approach people like you have some sense, because when there is a conflict, you know how to go to people and your approach is very respectful. I am here to tell you, you will not always get that. Now listen, when you are in the presence of anybody who is a disrespectful, rude, ignorant, ghetto, or uncouth person, I'm not saying stick around. You never stick around and remain friends or socialize with people, or if you can help it, be in the midst of people who are problematic. And disrespectful people, they tend to be extremely problematic in various ways. However, the truth is this, and I want to really address the body of Christ and people who are leaders, people who are upcoming leaders, those of you who God has anointed and equipped to work with people, because there's no way you can get around this. When God has called you, when God has anointed you, you have to come into the presence of all types of people, all different ages, all different races, backgrounds. They have different cultures and traditions, so you cannot avoid it. However, you better understand and prepare yourself for the simple fact that out here in the real world, people within your family, certain friends you may have, or your friends may have mutual friends or family members that come around them, you are going to find people who do not respect themselves. So don't be shocked when they attempt or they do disrespect you. All you all have to do is just pay attention to people or anybody who allows people to talk to them any type of way, people that they can dress better but they don't care to, they don't put any type of effort into looking presentable, they are loud, they are boisterous, they talk about certain subject matter that is very out of place and inappropriate, and they don't care about it. Don't be shocked when these type of people, they come to you with the very thing that they are, because they don't respect themselves. Anytime you see an individual who gives a lot of people access to them, they will be intimate with just about anybody. Anybody can invite them to their house, they'll go. Anybody can invite them on a date, they'll go. People can talk to them any type of way. They never correct people and tell them, listen, don't call me that name. I get irritated when you call me that name. I feel disrespected. Some people, they allow people to talk to them any type of way. And I'm not referring to those of you or people that you may know who are more introverted and they are quiet and they are not confrontational and they don't like to argue. Because the fact of the matter is, some people, they are the type of person, they like peace, and so they will be around people who are very disrespectful and people who are very uncouth, but they won't address things that they do because they are big on keeping the peace. And so if they have to allow certain things to be said, or certain things are done around them that are not too wow and over the top, they let that person just do whatever because they want peace. But you being a leader, if this is you, if it fits you, or if you are a person, you know God is bringing you to a level where you are going to have to minister to different people or be around different people, or you have to do business with someone and people that they bring aboard to help and assist them, they are disrespectful. I just want to make you all aware, you are not always going to have people who approach you with respect. And if you are wondering why, it's because most people who don't respect themselves, they're not really going to respect you. Now, I'm not saying that people are just going to approach you and come at you and they're just going to start cursing you out and loud talking you, and they're always going to come to you aggressively. But there are some people, their demeanor, they just come off with an attitude. They come off really aggressive. They're ready to fight at the drop of a dime. They're ready to argue at the drop of a dime. And if you confront certain people, they will bite your head off. You are going to be faced with these types of people everywhere you go. You don't have to allow it. But for any one of you all that you're the type of person that says, well, you know what, all that I've worked hard for, all of my accomplishments, who I am and what I bring, I demand that people respect me. Could it simply just be that there's a little bit, just a little bit sometimes, of ego within you? And I want you, before you all respond, think about that. Because in ministry work, you will have to correct some people in love. When you are in a leadership position, and you don't have to be in a church setting, you don't have to do this at work. It could be within your family. It could be you just carry that spirit on you of being a leader. You know how to be assertive, you know how to be aggressive in a good way, and you know how to take the lead when you see other things or things around you are falling apart. And so you have to conduct and carry yourself a certain way. I cannot tell you all how many leaders that I know, when they are faced with somebody who is really obnoxious, disrespectful, and like I said, ghetto and loud, they get offended. And a lot of people with that spirit of offense, they miss out on connections, they miss out on opportunities, because they allow a person who they can see does not respect themselves. If they act up with them, they throw in the towel. But all I'm telling you all, because disrespect coming from somebody, it looks different for every last one of you, and at each setting is going to look different. But somebody that has grown up, or they have been in a company of people who have always talked crazy to them, they have treated them any type of way, they've allowed themselves to be treated a certain type of way, you cannot possibly think that every single person that comes across you, that they are going to be on their best behavior, that the way that they speak is always going to be top notch. It's not going to always be like that. And it does not matter how old somebody is. This video is kind of piggybacking on a video that I did earlier, about So You Think You're Mature. This is also in sync with that video. And I wanted to put this message out because anytime there's a conflict or a situation, the first thing that certain people will say is, well, so-and-so, they're not going to disrespect me. I don't tolerate disrespect. But the fact of the matter is, in this life that you live, you are going to come across some people that are disrespectful. But sometimes this is part of humility. This is part of your maturity. This is part of you growing. This is part of God showing you some things. He will show you yourself, and this is part of how he begins to work on you and shape you and mold you to be a better vessel, not only for him, but for people that are coming into the kingdom. Sometimes when you see people who are very disrespectful and they're loud, sometimes you gotta sit back, and when you see them, you gotta ask yourself, what kind of background did he or she come from? What are they dealing with or living with now that is causing them to be aggressive, that is causing them to be real loud? You will find that some people, when you walk into a room, when there's one person in there and they're very, very loud, they want to be the center of attention. These sometimes are people who have been, this is not for everybody, guys, so calm down. Some of these people have been in abusive situations, or they've been in situations where they do not get a lot of attention, or if they are getting attention, it is negative attention. It's no different from a woman that dresses provocatively and she's always showcasing her body, and so that's all that woman is known for. So every time men approach her, they're not approaching her saying, excuse me, miss, excuse me, young lady, excuse me, can I have a moment with you? Men are not approaching certain women like that dress provocatively. Some of them are catcalling them, they're making sounds, they're loud talking them. Some of them will outright just call a woman a B. They'll say a B. And so these types of women, and it goes for men too, and it's men that don't respect their self, and they will go out here. They're dealing with a whole bunch of women at one time. They do their drugs, they do their alcohol. This is not to judge anybody, but all I'm saying is that you all that are in the position of you are being made to be a leader and God is still dealing with you and working on you, you are going to be faced with people who are disrespectful. You're going to have family members that are ignorant, that are rude, that are ghetto, that are abusive. And they will try to cut up with you. They will try to act up with you. But whatever the case is, you got to understand, if you didn't already know, how can somebody really respect me when they don't even respect themselves? Yes, you dismiss these people. You don't stand in the presence of anybody. You don't allow anybody to disrespect you. Again, that's not what I'm teaching here. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm giving you all who don't know understanding. And sometimes you got to be humble enough to sit back, step outside of your ego, step outside of your arrogance and say, you know what? That person, her mother's ghetto. Her mother's ignorant and disrespectful. She's always cussing out everybody in the household. This particular person right here, they have not got a hold on their alcohol. They have not got a hold on their weed problem. I'm just throwing stuff out there. So they talk crazy to everybody. If they don't get their way, they talk crazy. But you gotta understand sometimes, because see, it's a time and a place for everything. It's a time and a place. God will give you time and space with certain people who initially used to disrespect you, or they tried to disrespect you. You'll have your moment in some cases where you can calmly talk to that person and you can share with them a different perspective, and you can let them know, listen, when you approach me, don't call me so-and-so. Don't yell at me. Talk to me a certain type of way. Sometimes you will have to train and teach grown men and women how to respect you. All I'm saying is that if you are currently being disrespected, you're being undermined. People are writing you off. People are approaching you any type of way, and they are very comfortable saying whatever they want to you. Ma'am or sir, I'm here to tell you, they're probably comfortable disrespecting you or coming at you sideways because they don't respect themselves. When you see somebody that respects themselves and they know how to speak, and they know how to dress, and they know how to conduct themselves even under duress or pressure, usually they talk to people and they approach people in a very appropriate manner. They know how to handle conflict. They know how to deal with conflict. They know how to deal with difficult people. But people who are allowed to be disrespectful, because you're going to come across people in their household, and the man or woman they're married to, or the people that they hang around, they allow them to be disrespectful. So when they come in contact with you, they don't care about you. They don't care about talking to you a certain way. They don't care about approaching you a certain way. All I'm saying is that you all got to sometimes step outside of yourself, be patient and be humble enough and grace certain people. Have mercy with them to understand, you know what? I don't know what that person is dealing with. I don't know who that person is living with. I don't know how they were raised. But when I get them alone, I'm going to make sure they understand the next time they come to me in the workplace, the next time they approach me at church, the next time I have to go to this particular family member's house, they're going to know how to approach me, because I'm going to pull them to the side. when nobody is around, and I'm going to let them know that they need to respect me. But sometimes it's not going to always be like that. Sometimes you will be blindsided by somebody blatantly disrespecting you. It happens, guys. It happens. Who are you? Who am I to say that you know for a fact it will never happen? Yeah, you'll run across people that say, oh, so-and-so people know not to disrespect me. I'm the man out here. I'm the woman out here. People know who I am. My name is great out here. I done did too much stuff. You'll hear people talking like that. It's a lot of bravado. They do a lot of that talking and they say a lot, but you can't control how somebody approaches you. When something goes down, you don't always know how somebody's going to act. But again, and I'm going to get out of here, if you've ever been confused about it, some people, again, they don't respect themselves. When they don't have respect for themselves, when they don't love themselves, you got to love yourself first. You got to teach people how to approach you and how to treat you. But if you've never done that, for once in your life, stand up for yourself. When people talking to you crazy and they saying what they want to you, depending on the setting, because in certain settings, you're not going to always be able to have these one-on-one conversations. But make it your business. If time permits, you need to tell people, hey, listen, if you want to have a conversation with me, this is how I expect you to talk to me. This is how I expect you to approach me. Sometimes people will get mad. They say stuff out of anger. But I'm talking about people that are just all out there. Just disrespectful. Just they don't carry themselves in a good way. Every time you see them, it's some type of chaos or drama, or they loud talking, or they ready to fight. And sometimes they don't even have to be high or drunk. That is just who they are. They don't respect themselves. That's the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have taken offense to anything I spoke about in this video message, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not worried about it. I am not concerned because I know you will forgive me in the morning.